My dad called me a failure and refused to pay for my tuition since I wasn't the son he wanted. Now, I finally got my payback. I'm a 32-year-old man, have a younger brother, 28. We were raised by our dad, 56, when we were in middle school after my mom passed away. My brother was Dad's golden child. So, Dad always favored my brother over me. But I got used to it. Growing up, I never quite fit the mold my father had in mind for his firstborn son. While my younger brother was the rough-and-tumble kid who loved sports and getting dirty, I was drawn to what my dad considered softer pursuits: cooking, reading, and singing. My mother was the glue that held our unconventional family together. She never played favorites between me and my brother, accepting us both for who we were. Unlike my father, who made no secret of his preference for my more traditionally masculine younger brother, Mom encouraged my interest in cooking. She'd often tell me that if life had taken a different turn, she might have become a chef herself instead of taking over her father's business. Everything changed when Mom passed away from cancer during my 8th grade year. The loss hit me hard, and I found solace in the kitchen, cooking dish after dish as if somehow the familiar motions could fill the void she'd left behind. But rather than understanding my grief, my father saw this as yet another sign of my failure to be the son he wanted. He'd snap at me to get out of the damn kitchen and do something more manly, like my brother. Things came to a head one day in the kitchen. I was making Mom's signature pasta sauce when Dad stormed in. "What the hell are you doing in here again?" he demanded, his face red with anger. "I'm cooking," I shot back, tired of apologizing for something I loved. "Is that a crime? If I catch you in this kitchen one more time, you'll be doing every damn chore in this house," he threatened. "Why can't you just be normal like your brother?" Something in me snapped. Years of hurt came pouring out. "Because I'm not him. I've never been him. And you've never loved me because of it." He didn't even hesitate. "You're right. I haven't." Those 4 words confirmed everything I'd felt for years. They hung in the air between us, making the kitchen feel colder than it ever had. That was the last real conversation we had for years. I retreated into my room, throwing myself into studying recipes and listening to music, determined to make my culinary dreams work. Not just for myself, but for Mom's memory too. When college application time rolled around, I took a shot at several top culinary schools, including one of the most prestigious programs in France. I'd secretly interned at a local restaurant that summer, earning a glowing recommendation letter that helped me get accepted to several schools. I was thrilled but nervous about asking my father for permission and financial support. When I finally worked up the courage to tell him about culinary school, we were sitting at the dining room table, the same table where Mom used to serve her amazing Sunday dinners. "I got accepted to Le Cordon Bleu," I said, sliding the acceptance letter across the table. "In France." Dad barely glanced at it. "No." "What do you mean, no? This is one of the best culinary schools in the world." "I mean, I'm not paying for it," he said flatly. "Your brother's already struggling with his grades. The last thing he needs is to see you succeeding at some fancy school in France." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "So I should hold myself back because he's having trouble." "I don't want you competing with my son," he said coldly, as if I wasn't his son too. That was the final straw. After a huge fight where years of hurt came pouring out, I left home and moved in with my maternal aunt. Unlike my father, she believed in my dreams. Despite not being wealthy herself, she rallied her friends to help cover my tuition. I worked part-time through school to make their investment worth it, graduating as one of the top chefs in my class. My first job was at an upscale French restaurant, where I sent half my salary back to my aunt to repay her faith in me. After several years in France, I returned home with enough savings and experience to start working toward opening my own restaurant. I landed a position as head chef at a local establishment while planning my future venture. Finally, after years of hard work and preparation, everything fell into place. 2 friends from my culinary school days joined as co-owners, and we opened a restaurant named after my mother. her beautiful, uncommon name serving as a perfect tribute to the woman who first inspired my love of cooking. For our pre-opening party, I invited my aunt and all the friends who'd helped fund my education. I didn't invite my father or brother. We hadn't spoken since I left home, and they'd never shown any interest in reconnecting. But they showed up anyway, arriving an hour early and talking their way past security by dropping our shared last name. Their sudden appearance after years of silence left me speechless. Dad stepped forward, holding a large wrapped frame. "Son," he said, his voice unusually warm, "we brought you something special." He unveiled a portrait of Mom, her gentle smile captured perfectly in oils. "I had it commissioned for your restaurant. I always knew you had it in you." My brother chimed in, "Yeah, bro, we're so proud of what you've accomplished here. This place is amazing." The compliments felt wrong. Like a wool sweater in summer, it didn't take long to find out why. "Listen," Dad said, putting his arm around my shoulder like we were close. "Your brother's been having a rough time. That bartending job isn't really working out." "What Dad's trying to say," my brother interrupted, "is that we should work together. Make this a real family business. Make me a partner." I looked between them. Dad's practiced smile, my brother's eager face, and finally understood why they'd shown up after all these years. "A partner," I repeated slowly. "After everything that's happened, you show up here wanting to be partners." Instead of immediately refusing, I saw an opportunity for some well-deserved payback. I told them I'd think about it, and invited them to stay for the party. As our guests arrived, I watched them work the room, bragging about me as if they'd supported me all along. When it came time for the host's toasts, I saved myself for last. I started by thanking our guests and raising a glass to my mother, acknowledging how her early belief in me had carried me through even after she was gone. I thanked my aunt and her friends for funding my education when my own father wouldn't. Then, with my father and brother in the audience, I told everyone exactly why I'd needed their help, how my father had refused to pay for culinary school because he was afraid I'd overshadow his favorite son, how they'd both mocked my feminine interests throughout my childhood. But I wasn't done. I walked over to them, and putting on the same fake warmth they'd shown me earlier, hugged them both. I announced that in the spirit of forgiveness, I was offering my brother a position as our bartender. The crowd, not understanding the full context, applauded what seemed like a touching family reconciliation. Only my father and brother knew it for what it was, public humiliation wrapped in a show of magnanimity. They couldn't storm out without confirming everything I'd said, so they had to sit there and take it, smiling through gritted teeth. After the party, they confronted me outside, demanding to know why I hadn't just turned them away if I never intended to make my brother a partner. I laughed and told them this was payback for years of emotional abuse and neglect. As I drove away, I could hear my brother crying about how cruel I'd been, and my father shouting that I'd regret this. My aunt thinks I might have gone too far, that I should have just kicked them out when they first arrived. But I disagree. They never apologized for how they treated me, never showed any real remorse. They only came around when they thought they could profit from my success. The humiliation they experienced was nothing compared to years of being made to feel worthless by my own family. A month later, they tried one last desperate move. They showed up at my house, threatening to sue me for using my mother's name for the restaurant. I called their bluff. No lawyer would take such a ridiculous case. My brother lost it and tried to grab me, but my father held him back. Then my father tried emotional manipulation, saying my mother would be disappointed in me. "Don't you dare," I said, my voice shaking with anger. "Don't you dare use Mom to manipulate me. She wouldn't have wanted her sons fighting like this," Dad insisted. "You don't get to tell me what she would have wanted." I exploded. Where was all this concern for Mom's wishes when you were crushing my dreams? When you were telling me I wasn't man enough to cook? She would have been just as disappointed in how you treated me all these years. My father stepped back, looking like I'd slapped him. "Mom believed in me," I continued, quieter now. "She supported my love of cooking. And I know, wherever she is, She's proud of what I've accomplished, despite your best efforts to hold me back. Now my restaurant is thriving, and we're looking to expand. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's succeeding beyond anyone's expectations, especially those who never believed in you in the first place. The whole experience taught me something important. Family isn't just about blood relations. It's about the people who believe in you, support your dreams, and help you achieve them. My aunt and her friends became more family to me than my father and brother ever were. They invested in my future when my own family wouldn't, and their faith in me proved stronger than any biological ties. As for my father and brother, I don't waste energy hating them anymore. Their actions at my restaurant's opening showed me they haven't changed. They're still the same selfish, manipulative people they always were, but I'm not that scared, insecure kid anymore. I'm a successful chef and business owner who built something amazing despite their best efforts to hold me back. That's all the vindication I need.